Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm extremely happy and very much impressed coming here. Firstly, I was told that among the students, those much sort of say underprivileged sort of children. So you are paying special care. Really wonderful, really wonderful. This is not just sort of act of sort of compassion, but this, I think, real method to develop whole nation. I think global level, the gap rich and poor, this is very serious matter. Recently I was in Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil. When I give talk, I ask the audience, the gap rich and poor, is small or big? The audience responds, huge. All these three countries. Then I ask, how much corruption? Little or big? Again, they respond like that way. So this country also, there are these two problems. The problem, gap, rich and poor, and the corruption. So, in order to reduce this gap, I think most important thing is education. So those underprivileged people, through education, they will get self-confidence. With self-confidence, see, they will act with confidence, and through that way, this gap to reduce. Some occasion, I was in Africa, a global level, northern world, surplus is there. The southern world, even basic necessities are not adequate. Huge gap. Now, in order to reduce this, the richer side must provide education, instrument, and also the training. The weaker side, with full of confidence, work hard. So here also, I think the real method how to reduce this gap, both sides have the responsibility. Richer side, poorer side also. So you are sort of special paying, special sort of also the helping, special effort for poorer section of the people's children. It's wonderful. So I would like to give you some donation. I want to offer for that purpose 5 lakhs. I will offer to you. Then also in future, please carry your work continuously. Hopefully, number should increase. Then accordingly, from my own writing, some what called royalty survey. Royalty. Now these days, I also get some money. So I will sort of donate as much as I can beside other sort of projects. This is wonderful, really wonderful. This is responsibility of everybody. You are implementing. The other people should support you like that. So I very much appreciate this one. And then also the children, you play some meaningful sort of performance. They suppose, I think, the Buddhist monk, I think with head, that's not nice. Usually you see Buddha or Nagarjuna, all these great sort of saints, not wear that kind of hat. Anyway, I really appreciate all your performance. Very, very meaningful. Very good. What's it, the 8 kasa?
Fourth noble path. 8th noble path.
Oh, so that right speech, sort of right, sort of what's the life, daily life, livelihood,
Right action.
and right action, right sort of mental state. All these things are not only just Buddhist practice, I think for everybody. If you lead, you see, these principles, then you yourself, you see, can keep peace of mind. Too much attachment, too much greed, eventually brings a sense of extreme competition. That brings suspicion, distrust. As a result, eventually you get lonely feeling. More compassion, more sort of right way of sort of life. The essential thing is warm-heartedness. After all, you see, we human beings, as you mentioned, national boundaries, religious sort of boundaries are secondary. The important is we all same human being. When I talk people, I always talk on the level, we are human being. Perhaps, now for example, if when I give sort of talk with you, I sort of emphasize importance of I am Buddhist, I am Tibetan, that kind of mental attitude automatically creates some kind of barrier. When I talk, when I meet you, I consider I'm one of you. We are same. So wherever I talk, wherever I go, I always talk with that kind of motivation. We are same human being. Mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. And then important is we everybody, you see, have the right to achieve happy life, successful life. And I think the simple thing, when I give you smile, genuine smile, not sarcastic smile, genuine smile, then response from you automatically come. If you are keep the feeling we are same human being, if you keep the feeling I'm something different, then sometimes I give smile, but the response sometimes not the same way. So we human being, after all, social animal. So individual's life, the successful life, happy life, very much depend on the rest of the community. And also progress. We really need cooperation. Cooperation by force. They finally fail. Cooperation through warm-heartedness, through voluntarily. Then the cooperation is truly become effective, long-lasting. So the cooperation very much depend on friendship. Friendship depend on trust. Trust depend on transparent. Transparency depend on truthful. You are honest, truthful, speak truthfully. Then trust will come. Then genuine friendship come. Then genuine sort of cooperation come. So that's the system, like that. So therefore, you mentioned the cooperation, emphasis importance of oneness. rather than sort of differences on secondary level. I fully sort of support, I fully agree. Wonderful. Oh, then, as a part of my own sort of introduction, I have previously 3 commitments. Now 2 commitments. That is, first commitment, promoting human happiness, happy life, successful life. We need some special effort because today many people felt happy life entirely depend on money, material value. Now it shows quite clearly among millionaires or billionaires, the money-wise, money is concerned, very rich billionaire, but as a person, very unhappy person. I noticed in America, one day, one big university, they invited me to talk. From my hotel to that university, a little bit long. So the chancellor came to see me to my hotel. Then from that to school, to university, I think at least 30, 40 minutes by drive. Then in the car, he expressed, he deep inside very unhappy. Too much anxiety, too much sorrow today. Insecurity or some kind of difficulties. So he always very difficult to meet people, even his own staff member. He prefer lonely, dark room. He mentioned that. I asked, since you see our discussion, our talks become very sort of intimacy. So I also asked how much income, about $1 million. And as a chancellor, of course, the good name. However, something lacking here. So as a person, unhappy person. So I took his hand, and then, you see, rubbing, you see his hand. Then I also, you see, express some sort of my own sort of difficulties or problems. Then, however, these problems, you see, much problem is our own creation. So ultimately, it depends on our own mental attitude. If we develop, if we adopt certain sort of kind of mental attitude, then no matter what problems, you can keep peace of mind. That's the source of happiness. So I told him, then within these about 30, 40 minutes, his face little change. Then afterward, I was told by some of his staff member, now their chancellor become very active. You see, very sort of fond, meet more people, more talk, like that. They say after our meeting, their chancellor become much more happier person, much more active. So that's one example. Plenty of money, good name. However, something lacking here. So therefore, I think government level, every level, always talk money, economy. And our existing education system also is very much oriented about material value. So in this country also, the present existing education system introduced by say Britain, isn't it? I think wonderful. They really bring good education in this country. However, there is some questions. During Indira Gandhiji there, I had some discussion. The existing education system, whether really fit this country, because this country, 1,000 years, your own very rich cultural heritage, and also is it the knowledge about mind, about emotion, and how to tackle these emotions through shamatha, through vipassana. 1,000 years here, I think these should not consider as a religious practice, but take as a sort of method to build inner strength, inner peace. So I think the Indian education system, I think worthwhile carry some research. So modern education and also the ancient Indian sort of traditions, traditional education about mind, about emotion, may possible to synthesize. So in any way, so my number one sort of commitment. Quite hot. Look on the success. Oh, good. This success, right? Oh. The date of good day. They published. That fan is the air not coming here, but come here. Better you see here. Oh, now good. So my number one sort of commitment is make awareness the one important factor for inner peace is within ourselves. Much should pay more attention about our inner value. Certain inner value not based on religious faith, but purely secular way. So that's my number one commitment. And the second commitment, that number one commitment also, you see, very much sort of connected with 1,000-year-old India's tradition, that's ahimsa. Ahimsa very much related with compassionate motivation. Compassion there, every your action become ahimsa. Negative emotion, attachment, too much greed or hatred, then your speech may be nice word, but essentially violence. Clear? As I mentioned earlier, a sarcastic sort of smile, looks smiling, but you see motivation is something different. Therefore, that also act of violence with sincere motivation. Respect. Consider you as a human young brother, sisters, and express smile. That's the really non-violence. So, demarcation, violence and non-violence, very much based on the motivation. Clear? So that's my number one commitment. Number two commitment, promotion of religious harmony. Then I'm talking on the level I'm Buddhist monk. This also India's tradition. 1,000 years, more than I think around 3,000 years, different religious tradition developed in this country. So eventually, beside homegrown religions, other major world religious tradition also established here. So now India is almost, I think, a unique country where all major religious traditions live together. Of course, occasionally some problems here and there. That's understandable. about a billion human population, some mischievous people always there. That's understandable. But basically, I think it is really, I think, a model of the world, or example of the world. All major religious traditions can live together. So, number two sort of commitment is promotion of religious harmony. I sincerely respect all religions. I usually make a distinction, faith and respect. Faith, your own religion. Respect to all religions. And then also, concept of one religion, one truth. And concept of several religions, several truth. Looks contradiction. But reality, in terms of individual, yes, one truth, one religion is very relevant. In the terms of community, several truth, several religion, very much relevant. So no contradiction. Individual, as I mentioned earlier, faith, one's own religion, respect to all religions. And I think the Buddha actually teach different philosophical views. I often telling people, why is the Buddha taught contradictory philosophy? Whether that contradictory philosophy come from one person due to his own confusion? No, certainly not. Nor he deliberately taught contradictory philosophy in order to create more confusion among his disciples. No. Then answer is, the audience, among the audience, there are different sort of people who have different mental disposition. So certain sort of philosophical view to certain his disciple, to certain his disciple, not suitable. So this shows the Buddha respect the audience sort of view or their sort of mental disposition. So from here we learned we need the variety of humanity, mental disposition. We need variety of religious belief. It's much helpful. One religion, I think, cannot give satisfaction to different people. All. Like that. So my number two commitment is promotion of religious harmony. So these two things actually not come from my mind, but I learned from India. So therefore, I usually consider as a messenger of India. I born in India, as you mentioned. I think you made a little mistake, sorry. I think a little mistake. I born 35. I think you mentioned 36 though. You 36. Oh, I 35. Okay. So you're chairman, right? Chairman, 1 year younger than me. But I think white hair, I think you get more. You have more. I very much sort of impressed. There one Sadaji here, a lot of mustache. As soon as I enter, beard. As soon as I enter, I approach him. What age? He says 16. So this I remember 1954 when I go to China on the road. I think in Chinese town, in the real border, I got I shaved, you see, my hair. How do you say shepherd?
Barber.
That Baba, so after sort of shaved my hair, he looked at my little mustache here I have. So he staring my mustache. I'm a little bit shy. Then let him, yes, okay, shave. This first time shave, you see, my sort of, because of that, at that time my age, 19, right? Oh, I think 19 or 18. So he much younger than me, but a lot of hair. Maybe the sign of wisdom. Okay, sorry. So you, student, you really belongs to the 21st century. So 21st century, about 10 years past, the major portion of the century yet to come. So you are the generation who create better world. I think within this century, you can change the world. Better world, peaceful. Peaceful means compassion there, peace automatically come. Hatred, anger, suspicion there, peace cannot come. So cultivate basic human value, that's warm-heartedness, sense of responsibility, sense of global responsibility, and also sense of concern of others' well-being. So through that way, you can build new world, happier world. As you mentioned, border, these are not much of importance. So we, humanity, about 7 billion human beings, we are same. So you can build new world. So that's my main sort of hope and main appeal to you. Please, in order to carry or say the effective role on this planet, education, I think firstly, vision is very important. And in order to achieve that vision, two things: wisdom, education, through education, wisdom, and also through experience. The wisdom means knows reality from all aspects. All aspects. That I can call wisdom. The things are relative. There are many different aspects. So in order to know the reality, we must look the thing through 4 dimensions or 6 dimensions. Through 1 dimension, we can't see the reality. So looking from all different aspects or dimension, then, and also, you see, when you observe things, when you analyze the thing, your mind must be very calm. Otherwise, you cannot analyze objectively. So through that way, gain more knowledge, more holistic knowledge. That I can call, and then plus experience through experiment. That I can call wisdom. Then other side, determination, willpower. That very much depend on warm-heartedness. Warm-heartedness there, sense of concern of others' well-being. Then you can act transparently, nothing to hide. If you have self-centered attitude here, then sometimes you have to act hypocritical way, isn't it? Something different for motivation and showing different. If your heart open, sincere, truthful, then you can act transparently. That brings determination. That brings willpower. So wisdom and determination combined our vision can materialize. There is Tibetan saying, the 9-time failure, 9-time effort. This moment you carry study. Once you finish your education and then start real life, not easy. Lot of obstacles may face. So then, making effort, one obstacle come, then demoralize. Give up is wrong. Firstly, you analyze the thing, whether can achieve or not. Then, through analyzation, through investigation, it is possible to achieve. Say 50% achieve, right? Or 60%, 50, even 50%. Then make effort. Obstacle come. Once fail, still re-effort. Go like that. Then your life will be very, very successful life. Do you agree? What do you think? Okay. So that's my main talk. So we, generation who belongs 20th century, now put our hope on you, the 21st century's generation. Please think more, because of the holistic way, and analyze properly, then make effort, because of constantly. So India, as I mentioned, I consider messenger of India. I really feel proud. Then also, you see, these days I also used to describe myself as a son of India. The reason, one occasion, some Chinese reporter, overseas Chinese reporter, so one Chinese asked me, why you mentioned you consider as a son of India? Then I told, every particle of my brain filled by Nalanda thought. As you mentioned, 7-year-old, I began study. All those important texts which we learned by heart, it's Nalanda master's sort of writing. So every particle, my sort of brain, filled by Nalanda thought. Then this physical, last over 50 years, survived by Indian dals, Indian rice, Indian chapati. So therefore, I consider myself as son of India. This is nothing. This is the political motivation. It's fact. Clear. So I really feel I'm proud as a messenger of India, as a sort of son of India. Meantime, when I heard too much corruption, too much sort of negligence about the poorer section of people, then as a son of India, sometimes I feel a little shy. So you are making effort, you see, to reduce the sources which I feel shy. You see, you are making that effort. So I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much.